Welcome to Screw the Commute, the entrepreneurial podcast dedicated to getting you out of the car and into the money. With your host, lifelong entrepreneur and multimillionaire, Tom Antion.
Hey everybody, it's Tom here with episode 97 of Screw the Commute podcast. Today's episode, we're going to talk about multiple streams of income. Going to give you a primer and why it's so important to do this for you and your family. Now, last episode was 96. That was Roberta Shaler. Now, if you've got a broken relationship, either in business or personal, she's your solution. So make sure you listen to that episode 96. Now, our youth program is in full swing. We're looking for young people that are doing entrepreneurial things. When I say young, I mean maybe up till early 20s. So if they're older than that, I'd love to hear about them, but maybe they'd be a candidate for our regular show. But we want to highlight youth. We're going to try to do about once a month. So have them email me at orders@antion.com, and I'll tell them how they could apply to be featured on Screw the Commute podcast. All right, our sponsor this week is me again, and the Tom Antion Internet Marketing Retreat and Joint Venture Program, where myself and my staff work with you for a year to either get you started in an internet business or to use the internet to take your existing business to the next level. I'll tell you more about that later, and the details are going to be at greatinternetmarketingtraining.com, greatinternetmarketingtraining.com, and that'll be in the show notes at screwthecommute.com. Of course, this is episode 97. Now, don't forget to get our podcast app. It's a great way to take us with you on the road. It has all kinds of cool features for your tablet or your cell phone. And we have complete instructions. If you're new to using these kinds of apps, we've got complete instructions at screwthecommute.com/app. So it'll make it easy for you to figure it out. And our on-demand TV is now in full swing. That's the public speaking channel on Roku TV. If you don't know what that is, check it out. It's sweeping the world pretty much, on-demand TV where you can listen and watch to your favorite shows anytime you want. I mean, I binge-watched 88 episodes of The Equalizer from the 80s on there. So check that out. But our channel is the public speaking channel. We have other ones in development, Brutal Self-Defense, Protection Dogs Elite, and, of course, Internet Marketing programs we'll have on there too. And we're taking it all also to Amazon Fire. So we'll have two places where you can go and get all these shows. All right, let's get to the main event, multiple streams of income. Now, this is a term that's been thrown around a lot in money-making circles. I mean, it sounds good on the surface, but the question is, how do you make this work in real life? And that's what I'm going to talk about today. Now, I look at the concept of multiple streams of income as a kind of insurance policy for you and your family, if you have one. Now, if you have only one stream of income and for some reason it fails, you're in deep doo-doo, and you have to scramble to make ends meet, and you just might lose your credit rating over one bad incident. A perfect example of this was the recent government shutdown. I mean, tens of thousands of government workers who thought their paycheck would always be there got a rude awakening when it wasn't. Many were getting covered by the media as almost bankrupt, and appeals were made all over the place to cut them slack on their rent and utilities and food and stuff. And the ones out there that have been doing what I'm covering in this podcast, they kept right on trucking, paying their bills, going on vacation, and generally enjoying a little extra time off. Unfortunately, government jobs can suck you in, and the percentage of people that didn't sweat the shutdown was massively low. I mean, I have no idea how many people came away unscathed, but I'll bet several of my streams of income that the numbers were extremely low. Now, most people just aren't ready for a lapse of income, and the results can be devastating, especially if it kills your credit rating. And you have late and unpaid bills and maybe collections all over your credit report. And not only will the lack of income kill you in the short run, but you have no money. Plus, you'll be racking up a bunch of late charges. But those bad marks on your report will mean you're going to pay exorbitant rates for credit in the future. So ignoring multiple streams of income, I'll have to say, is negligent. You should immediately take steps to do this, and don't say you haven't been warned. So my goal in this recording is to give you lots of ideas to start or increase your journey towards financial security and independence. The first thing is if you're still in the dreaded job, yes, you might hate what you're doing, but if you have a job and it's your main source of income, you can use that income source to finance your quest for new income sources. And you might say, well, I can't make ends meet now. And what I hear when you say that is I'm not willing to give up luxuries and niceties in the short run to increase my financial security in the long run. That's what I hear. Hey, and I know lots of people have espoused giving up your fancy cup of coffee each day, all right? But I got to tell you, there's a lot of truth to that. But however, most people talking about that don't look at it the way I do. Let's just take that $5 a day, or that's $150 a month. What could be done with that $150 a month? And I'm going to be very conservative here because I don't preach any kind of get rich quick. I preach get very rich over time. So what could you do with that money? Well, you could hire a young English student from a high school to research and write, or at least rough out, an ebook for you on a work-for-hire basis. Work-for-hire means the writer does not get ghostwriting credit or any rights to the book other than what you agreed to pay for the writing of the book. Your $150 would get you 15 hours of work, which would be more than enough for a 30 to 60 page ebook on some niche topic. And don't ask me what topic. I've got lots of other podcasts, and episode 70 in particular that cover ebooks, and topics were covered in episode 19 on how to create quality products out of nothing. And in that episode, I went in depth on how you can come up with topic ideas that are proven to sell. So anyway, let's say this modest ebook would sell for $17, which is very common price for a small PDF ebook on a niche topic. Just selling 10 a month would net you close to $160 per month. And the reason you didn't make the entire $170 is because whatever system you use to sell, like a credit card, merchant account, or PayPal, takes a percentage. But hey, you just made an extra $1,960 per year if you only sold 10 ebooks per month. What if you sold 20 or even 50? Well, that would be another $4,080 to $9,600 per year. Now, sure, there are a lot more details involved in selling the book and getting traffic and people to buy the book. And I've got that covered in lots of episodes. But in this episode, I don't want you to get bogged down in the details. When people see too many details before they understand them, they tend to not start at all. I say start, and as long as you keep your costs low, you can figure things out as you go. You can then use this same method and do what is commonly called rinse and repeat. In other words, you just do it again, and after the first ebook, each one finances the production of the next one. Each one adds up to an increased monthly income for you, and all just because you gave up a daily coffee shop visit for 1 month. All right. So what else could you do with that original $150? Well, you could advertise yourself as a coach or consultant. Even while still working at a regular job, you can coach people on many different things on evenings and weekends and lunch breaks. So let's say you advertise your coaching services. And again, don't ask me for what topic, because I'll be covering that in future episodes. And whatever ad mechanism you use, and of course, we cover advertising in other episodes. All right. Anyway, so let's say it costs you $150 a month to advertise yourself. Hey, just one session could be between $50 and $200. I usually sell them in blocks of time, so even at a rate of $50 per session, booking 3 sessions pays your ad bill. And if your rates are higher, booking 3 sessions could net you $300 in that month. I mean, I'm $1,000 an hour with a 3-hour minimum. See, so this coaching is a very, very lucrative field, and you probably know things that other people would like to know if you just told them that you know it and you're willing to help them. So if you just get some regular clients, you're making several $1,000s a month. At the same time, you're still working your regular job. And if you start getting referrals, you could get out of advertising yourself and save that extra $150 a month. All right, how about an idea that won't cost you anything per month? How about that? You could put an ad in your local Craigslist and do tutoring. Hey, you can still advertise your coaching there too for free. I think in most areas. And maybe you're good at math, languages. They're even doing dog training over Skype and things like that. Did you realize those couple things I just named can be done on Zoom or Skype? In person, you could tutor in soccer, softball, baseball, car repair, or any other skill you have. I mean, you could be a personal trainer. No, you don't need all kinds of certifications. If you're worried about it, you could be a motivational workout partner. People will pay to learn things one-on-one. And you don't have to be a world-renowned expert on the topic. I've been hoping to find an Adobe Audition editor to teach me some things about editing this podcast. I don't care about certifications. If they can make audio sound great and they use Adobe Audition, that's all I need. I don't care about certifications. Let's look at some other angles on this. I've been preaching for years on making your hobbies tax deductible legitimately. I mean, get people to pay you to teach them or sell some kind of product or affiliate product based around your hobby. And affiliate products are products someone else creates, and when you refer the products and somebody buys it, you get a commission. But if you structure things right, you have legitimate tax deductions, which lets you keep more money from your job. And plus, you have extra income from people paying you to teach them. What about using your home as a revenue source? I've got a massive estate home. It's far bigger than I really need to live, but there is no question it's a revenue source, and a pretty darn big one at that. You know, it's the Great Internet Marketing Retreat Center where people come in from all over the world to study internet marketing with me. So it's clearly legitimately tax deductible because they pay a lot of money to come here. So with a proper financial structure, and you got to ask your accountant or lawyer about this stuff, much of your household expenses can be attributed to your business. Legitimately. I always have to put that in there. We don't pull any funny business around here that will get you in trouble. Now, if you can swing it, you could purchase a rental property. Now, this is not a real estate podcast, but a rental property can cash flow to give you extra income or not cash flow and possibly save you some income tax from your job. In the case of your personal home and the rental property, if things go well, you might make money from the appreciation of the property. If you have extra space and have the right personality and screening process, you could take on roommates to help with the rent or mortgage. You see, there are ways you can bring in extra income without starting a full-blown, full-time business. And in a future episode, I'll be talking about side hustles. It seems to be the latest term used to describe tons of ways you can bring in extra money. But in this episode, I just want to emphasize the importance of doing so. I don't necessarily want you to totally concentrate on side hustles where the key word is hustle, where you are always selling time for money. I prefer you do it my way and work, get paid. And many of you have heard me speak, hear me talking about this all the time. Now, these are the kind of side hustles like writing an ebook. That's the work part. And then selling it forever. That's the get paid part. And this is more of an insurance policy for you and your family in that you can get sick or want to take time off, or in my case, I had to take off 3 months to take care of my mother. before she passed. Now, my multiple income streams just kept chugging along, and I had way more money when I came back than when I left. And I had friends of mine tell me if they took off 3 months, they'd be bankrupt and lose their home. You can't get in that situation. If you're in that situation, you listen to this podcast over and over and get your mindset to get the heck out of that situation. All right, before we finish up, I want to tell you about how I turned the internet marketing training world on its head around the year 2000. And talk about multiple streams of income. I really want you to move towards the online world because you can have so many different things making you money. But anyway, at the time, people like me were charging $50,000 to $100,000 up front to teach what we knew to clueless business people who refused to learn it on their own. Now, I'm a small business advocate. I knew many small businesses could never afford that kind of upfront money. So I made all the gurus mad by charging a relatively small entry fee to my program that also got a percentage of profits that was capped, so you're not stuck with me forever. So for me to get my big money, you have to make way bigger money. And plus, I'm not going to disappear on you because I won't get any more money. Now, I took it a step further, and that's never been done before. I told you about the big estate home and the TV studio here where my students, as part of their year-long training, come and they actually stay in the house for an immersion weekend. And that's just one of the unique features of this program. So check out the full details at greatinternetmarketingtraining.com, and of course I'll have it in the show notes. And you really have a unique experience that you just can't get anywhere else. And that's not blowing smoke. There's nobody on earth at my level that'll even talk to you, let alone bring you in their house and live with you and help you for a year with unlimited one-on-one consultation with me and my entire staff. So check it out at greatinternetmarketingtraining.com, and it'll be in the show notes. All right, so back to the multiple streams. My bottom line advice for this episode is to keep your job cranking. Cut out luxuries to finance your next stream and to put a cushion away for when you want to chuck the job altogether. And then pick something to create a second stream of income. Get it profitable and go for a third and a fourth. Eventually, you'll get so good at it that it'll be too expensive for you to go to work, where you're more valuable creating multiple passive income streams. So good luck with this, and watch for episode 106 in a few weeks, where I'll outline a ton of side hustles you can do to rapidly increase your income. And only some of them are online, but if you want to get some money fast, I'll show you how to do it. But I don't want you to get sucked into the only side hustles that take your time. I want you to channel it into a lot of the passive income streams online. And of course, we talk about that throughout this whole podcast. So that's the story for this time. Next episode is 98, Corbin Ball. He's a top technology expert with some great but simple tips. So please subscribe and review. Really, I'm asking you from the bottom of my heart, please go to iTunes and review and help out the show. It doesn't cost you anything. If you got something valuable from this or any other episode, please tell somebody about it over there. It helps the show keep going. So I will catch everybody else on 98. We'll talk about Corbin Ball and his technology expertise. See you later.